In a world where brand experience is paramount, upholding your company's standards demands unwavering consistency in every location. At the SBOA, we understand the critical role consistency plays in driving your business's success. That is why we joined forces with MSI to introduce a revolutionary internal audit program tailored to meet the specific needs of your organization. Our game-changing audit program leverages cutting-edge technology and expert insight to bring you unparalleled accuracy and reliability. We know that success in this competitive environment is paved with adherence to operational requirements, and every company has its own standards along with state and local regulations to adhere to. So we've made our internal audit system completely customizable, all in a user-friendly app. The app enables on-site agents to collect real-time data and insights from their respective locations. This feature ensures that information is up to date and allows for quick responses to any issues or challenges that could arise. Our internal audit program also has advanced photo and video reporting capabilities. These visual reporting tools allow leadership to visualize non-compliant sites and gain a comprehensive understanding of the issues, with specific examples for clear context, which enhances communication and leads to faster resolutions. And it can be done with just a few clicks and the snap of a photo or quick video. And our program provides an in-depth understanding of each store's performance and challenges. This feature allows for a comprehensive assessment of how well each location adheres to operational requirements and brand standards, helping to identify areas for improvement. Are you ready to take your self-storage business to the next level? Explore our comprehensive suite of services, including internal audit programs, mystery shopping, and reputation management, and unlock your full potential. Contact us today to embark on a journey of excellence and success. 248-954-9000.
Are you a self-storage owner or operator looking for service providers to help at your facility? Well, the Storage Business Owners Alliance, also known as the SBOA, has you covered. The SBOA is the premier online hub for connecting self-storage owners and operators to industry-leading products and service providers. We provide one-stop shopping for your business with exclusive offers to save time and money. At the SBOA, we believe by coming together, we help owners and operators grow revenue, gain purchasing power, reduce expenses, improve efficiencies, and increase profitability. We also offer many resources such as our conferences and self-storage unlock webinars to help self-storage owners and operators gain the knowledge needed to become more competitive in the industry. To become an SBOA member or to find out more information, please visit www.thesboa.com today. We can't wait for you to join the Alliance.
I almost did it, but I caught myself. I was on mute. Good morning, self-storage industry. Thank you for attending another one of the Storage Business Owners Alliance, better known as the SBOA's Self-Storage Unlocked. Today, I am off the hook moderating. We have a guest moderator with us today, our very own Ian Burnstein. He's one of the co-founders of the SBOA. He's also an owner-operator in the self-storage industry. So he's such a great person to have on today to give you guys some insight as owners and operators of all the things you should be doing to be getting ready for 2024. It's coming up in a couple weeks, so we want to make sure we're ready for the new year. A few quick announcements for you before we get started. I see some of you are already chatting in the comment section. If you have questions for Ian and his panelists today, that's where we want you to interact with us. Also in the comment section, we will be posting poll questions, and we really would love for you to answer those poll questions with us, for us, I should say. It just helps us to get to know you better, so we know how we can help you along your self-storage journey. And as you saw by the two commercials, we have the 12 days of the SBOA giveaways every day from December 6th to December 21st, excluding the weekends at 2 p.m. on social media. I will go live. We ask a trivia question. Whoever participates and answers that trivia question correctly gets that daily prize. I'm not sure what today's prize is, but I'll come back later on at the end when we do announcements and let you all know what that is. And then our final storage for rookies for the year is next Thursday, December 14th from 11 to 4:30. That is a training program that we offer to the self-storage industry for newer owners and operators or investors looking to get in to the industry and how to do that correctly. So please join us next week for that session. It's a really jam-packed day full of information. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Ian up so we can get started for today.
Hey, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Everyone doing well out there in storage land?
Put in the comments if you're doing well in storage land. We want to hear from you. Ian, I'm going to let you take it away and introduce your panelist.
Great. Okay. Jessica, why don't you do the introductions, if you don't mind, of all of our panelists? Because I don't seem to have all the bios and everything here.
Okay, sure can. Let me go ahead and bring up, we have Chris first, I believe, from R.W. Rogers Company.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good, Chris. Thanks for joining us today. Chris, do me a favor and tell us a little bit about yourself and what R.W. Rogers Company can do for the self-storage industry.
Perfect. Well, again, my name is Chris Modjeski. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you having me here. I'm with R.W. Rogers Company. We are a manufacturer of material handling equipment across a wide variety of industries, one of those being self-storage. So what we do is we supply current owner-operators with flatbed carts for them to provide to their clients to move in and out their stuff from the units, obviously. So that could be multi-level units. That's where we see most of it, but it could be anywhere for any site need be. So that is one aspect of what R.W. Rogers offers. Second one is we are a national sales representative for Karcher North America. You might be familiar with them in regards to pressure washers, but they do have a whole floor care cleaning line as far as floor sweepers and scrubbers. So we brought that on as one of our product lines to offer to the self-storage industry as well to help with the cleaning aspect and keeping the facilities tidy and cleaned.
Yeah, I think that's going to become more and more critical with what we're seeing in the industry right now. And I mean, it's always good to keep a good, clean facility anyway. So if anyone needs any information from Chris, we can get you guys connected. Thanks for being here today with us, Chris.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, I have Grace Totty from Absolute Storage Management. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Jessica and Ian. I'm excited to be here today.
Good to see you.
I'm with Absolute Storage Management. We're one of the privately held third-party management options available for owners who are looking to maintain their storage asset and all of the benefits that come with, as Ian said, storage land. But they are looking to get out of the day-to-day, maybe future-proof that investment. We offer those flexible solutions for them to reap the benefits of storage.
Awesome. Well, you always bring so much insight. Can't wait to have you on this with us and give us some stuff that you're seeing out there for your owners and operators that you help third-party manage for. Thanks, Grace. All right. Next up, I have James from Stortrack. Good morning, James.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. as Jess said, I'm James. I'm with Stortrack. We offer market data, rate intelligence for your competitive market for storage operators, and we do that. Pretty much, we collect rate data on a daily basis, so we really kind of keep you in tune with what's going on in the market. The other thing we do along with that is we do track marketing activity, which again, coming into this next year, I think is going to be super important. So again, knowing what your competition is up to, if they're first page Google or if they're using paid ads. We'll also kind of give you an idea if it's a competitive market or a neutral market. And again, those are some important facts to know, obviously, when you're heading into your budgeting time frame right now. So excited to be here, excited to share some information.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. And yeah, you've got some critical information that I think owners and operators need to hear about. So thanks for being here. And last but not least, I have Jeanne from the Storage Group. Good morning, Jeanne.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Ian and Jessica and everybody in Storage Land. My name is Jeanne Dotson. I'm the marketing manager at the Storage Group. Basically, we are a digital marketing agency that specializes in the self-storage industry as well as boat and RV storage. So everything from websites, all of your digital presence, making sure you show up in search engines, so SEO, search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising, local listings, blogs, social media, all of that. We also have Click and Store, which was the first online rental tool that integrates with a number of property management systems. So really, it's about creating a digital imprint because competition is so prevalent in this industry, helping you to stand out. So I'm here to answer any questions, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. And I'm going to bring everybody up so we can get this started. And then, Ian, I just want to let you know, I don't know if you saw in the comments, people are saying that they're loving Storage Land, and Storage Land is crazy town over here. So, too. So have no fear. We're here to help you guys. But anyway, if you guys need me, I'll be in the background today. So take it.
Great. No, interesting times out here for sure. Some of the most unique. And I've been in the space for over 20 years and, survived the 08 to 10 timeframe. So I'm well accustomed. It's not quite that bad, not even close, but it is certainly interesting times indeed. So as we're nearing the end of 2023, business owners should be planning for 2024, obviously. So today we're going to discuss some key areas that you should be planning on. And so many of us are in the budget planning for 2024, and start talking about what are some of the major expense items that owners should be reviewing to see if they can possibly reduce. And Grace, I'm going to let you take that one away.
Yeah, I definitely am here to talk about kind of what we're planning for with 2024, just a couple of weeks away, which is crazy to even think about. I think it was a SBOA webinar a couple weeks ago where Chuck Gordon from the Storable was featured, and he talked about kind of preparing for 2024, focusing on increasing additional revenue opportunities, and then also looking into reducing expenses. And so I think that is kind of the focus of efficiencies as we look into 2024. Absolute Storage Management, we represent about 150 different locations and 70 different owners in the southeastern markets. And so what we are prepping for is some headwinds with the economy. Right now, we're just seeing lower search volume. So I oversee the marketing department and really have my pulse on what's happening digitally. And Jeanne can definitely speak to this also. There's fewer searchers right now than historically. So definitely since last year and kind of the golden year of 2021 and 22. But even as compared to 2019, there's fewer traffic. I think there's a graphic that represents this if Iris or Jessica wants to show it up. Yeah, exactly. So this is coming from Google Trends. And so this is just how many people are searching for our product. Lots of different terms go into this, but I think this is a really clear indicator of one of the headwinds that we as operators will just be up against next year. You can see that red line, it's trending down. So fewer searches happening the last 2 years, paired with competition. And so it's definitely going to be interesting. And Chris can speak to how you as a current operator can stand out with this new competition that's right next door to you. And so what we're prepping for is how do we compete this? How do we stand up against this? And then also street rates. How can we stay competitive with our street rates, and then still make some growth in revenue? And so we're looking at ways to improve like current processes or current products to sell. So if you don't have insurance, it's a great time to add insurance because that's a wonderful kind of value add to your property. Looking at retail, how can we, even though online rentals are happening, how can we still increase our retail sales? And so I kind of believe that street rates are going to be dictated by the economy, and discounts might be dictated by the economy of the next couple of months, definitely next quarter. And so where are those other opportunities for us to increase revenue?
That's a great comment. And I would say a couple things. Number one, you with less demand, obviously making sure you convert on the leads you get is critical. We used to always tell my biggest line when I told my staff was, if you're trying to make it in the major leagues, if you get up to bat and you get 10 at bats and you get 2 hits, you never make it out of the minors ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 3, you make it to the Hall of Fame, right? So the slight difference of what you can do, you got to be there anyways. I tell them, you got to be sitting there all day. Sometimes it's boring, but every time that phone rings or an email comes through or someone walks in the door, you got to be your best and do something special. And so, Jeanne, we're going to get to you in a sec, but making sure you're getting as much of that traffic as possible is critical. And we made the decision back in 2016. We sold the majority of our portfolio, and for a while we're only down to 13 assets, and it was kind of disparate. It was all over the place. So we made the decision by hiring a large management company that it was a good idea because we could get the traffic that we needed online, and we couldn't do that alone. And so that's where someone like Jeanne comes in. In fact, Jeanne, why don't we have you talk a little bit about technology integrations and management software. So talk about the importance of investing in a modern user-friendly management system that can take reservations, payments, customer communication. Talk a little bit about what the storage group is doing there.
Sure. I think as Grace mentioned, and how there's less searches, you have to make an impact. There's competition out there. There's less searches. And customer care is slowly, I think, becoming a dying art, and that ties into technology. You're going to need to stand out against your competition, not just at your facility, but that entails a big part of customer care actually is embracing technology, because I think there's a feeling in the self-storage industry that any kind of using technology to complete the process leaves a cold or impersonal experience, and that can be really far from the truth. At the core, having good customer care is meeting and exceeding your customers' needs and expectations. So it's important for you to be there whenever they're making the decision about which securing storage facilities. So you want to be there with your facility, have good branding at your brick and mortar, but you also want to be there online. That allows people to research you 24/7, whether it's midnight when they finally have a chance to look at things, or if it is 6 a.m. So part of that is having a strong digital presence. And why is it important? Well, 86% of customers use Google Maps to decide which local businesses they want to work with or use. And so you have to have a good, strong digital presence. That means you have to have a progressive website that needs to function no matter what device they're on. If they're on a computer, laptop, or mobile device, it needs to have the same functionality, needs to load quickly. You need to have everything the same because especially when you're dealing with millennials or Gen Zs, a lot of them, unless they're in college, they don't have a computer at home. They actually use their phones. They grew up with phones. That's their device that they use. And a lot of them want to do those things online. So it's a good idea to stand out so that people can go into your facility if they choose to go to your facility, but they can also rent or reserve online 24 hours a day. So when it's convenient for them. Also, younger generations and even older generations are used to doing things like payments online. The more convenient you can make it, the better the user experience. So whether they are going into your facility or they're going online, make the process easy for them, user-friendly. So with mobile devices, you definitely want to show up in the rankings up high. Tools like Click and Store, like I said, does integrate with property management systems. The good thing for owners is that you won't have to navigate between nothing will ever show up that says you have a unit that you don't have. It talks to it in real time if it's integrated with a property management system. So having an online tool like that can be very helpful. Another thing people are concerned about, and we'll talk about more in this webinar, is security. So if you're on your website and you currently use a property management system, it could be by the time you get to the payment part, it looks different because it looks like the property management backend. And that can be scary for people just when they're about to put in payment information and things like that. The website starts to look different. If you have an integrated tool, rental tool, it will look like your website all the way through. That helps with your branding. It helps people to feel secure. They haven't been taken someplace else. And if they're integrated, then they speak to each other, and then it'll know in real time what your prices are, as well as what your, what you have available. Tools like this can also be helpful because you can give your customers good, better, best pricing. They may say that they're looking for something, and you can say, okay, you're looking for this, but here's pricing. For a little bit more, you get this. For a little bit less, you get that. We're finding that the more options we can give people, the more they feel like they're in control, and they like that. Another thing is having a tool. And another way you can use technology is if you have an online rental tool that tells you about abandonments. That's huge. That's a big lead. That was somebody who went to your site, was interested in what you had to offer, but didn't complete the process. We know we get phone calls, children come in, we get distracted, we stop doing what we were doing. Having a notification go to your manager that says, hey, this person didn't complete the process, allows you to reach out to them and say, hey, we saw you didn't complete your transaction. Did you have a question? You could even entice them with a special. So using these things in technology can really help you with your customer service, with the clients, so that they feel like they're heard and seen, and that the process is easy, almost like an Amazon-like experience, because that's what people are used to and that's what they expect. So those are just some ways that I think we can use technology to be able to bridge the gap, reach people 24/7 whenever they're looking to secure storage that goes along with the way that you handle brick and your facility on site itself.
Yeah.
So
if I can jump in, I think one of preparing for 2024, every lead counts. That's the indication with this lower search volume, higher traffic, every lead counts. And so what Jeanne, I totally agree with the importance of meeting our customers where they are, because where our customers are is different today than it was 3-5 years ago. Even 20 years ago when Ian started here in the industry. The team members on site have so much knowledge. And so it would be really cool to ask your team member to rent a unit online and tell me, as the operator or owner here, how are you better? Because that's a missed opportunity for a website build out. So what features are you talking about that close the sale for your customers? We need those features on our website or even in the online rental process. So you mentioned tiered pricing or value-based pricing. As an operator, that's one of those enhancements to revenue management that if you haven't implemented to date, I think it's going to become more important next year as price sensitivity increases.
Yeah.
Same
Well,
thing.
that's a great segue too. I mean, James, I mean, you guys see that, and we use and have used your product. I mean, I think since it launched. In full disclosure, I'm a investor over there, but I find the product to be one of the most impactful. And just to give everybody an idea, at one point, we had 38,000 units, tenants, and you raise rents on average $4 or $5 over 38,000 people times 12 at a 5 cap. I mean, it was something like $12-13 million of the value, and no one's moving out for $4 or $5. So, James, talk a little bit about how you're able to do that and some of the things that people can expect, and on top of it, even how affordable it is.
So one of the things, and especially obviously, we've seen rates they started to slip in January, and they've kind of gradually progressed. However, there's still markets out there that are positive. I can tell you that there are markets that have shown growth over that period. So understanding what's happening with rates in your market, we're seeing areas of the country, believe it or not, where things like non-climate controlled units are outpacing climate controlled units rate-wise. So there's things in the market that we can show you that may help you maximize your rates, especially, again, when everybody's feeling pressure. So when you do get those rentals, if it's fewer rentals, get more money for those rentals. We capture rates for not only the current advertised rates, but we also do what's called value pricing. So, for example, if an operator, and again, a lot of the REITs are using value pricing, we'll show you all three of those rates, and those are kind of like ABC tiered units. So it helps people kind of stay competitive, but not give away the farm on every unit. And then the other thing we do, like I said, with the marketing, especially this time of year when you're doing your budgets and you're looking at things, and like what Jeanne said, you have to meet your customers where they are. If you have, and again, I talk to operators who are wondering why all of a sudden they've stalled out. We go look at the marketing scorecard in there, and we're going to see that their first page Google, that they're spending the money on paid ads, that they have an online rental tool. So all those things that we track all of that stuff. So it's really important to understand what's going on in your market, because it is moving and it's advancing pretty quick. So the ones that are staying behind, that were the old traditional, we're just going to kind of let things ride and we're going to stay full. They're feeling the pressure now because these other operators are taking those steps to market their business, make their product more available. And again, I totally echo the customer service side right now. I think it's critical that your staff can answer those questions and respond, quickly and knowledgeably, especially if they know what's going on in the market. They can speak confidently to what you're offering.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we help with.
Great. And then Chris, I see we have some questions, so I'll get to that in a second. But Chris, talk a little bit about, now, I mean, definitely is slower out there, and obviously, in general, the economy is slower, but also you're coming into winter, so obviously the ideal time to take good care of your facilities. So talk a little bit about, if it's a great time to deep clean the properties and deal with any maintenance issues, how should owners start planning, for CapEx projects for 24, and should the owners employ a reserve fund each year?
Yeah, so I think it's an ideal time, obviously, start thinking about it as you're budgeting. On the cleaning aspect of it, yeah, a clean facility, it just helps the overall look of the facility. Both of our product lines that we do is more geared towards customer experience. So whether that's the cleaning or the carts, it just helps. And as far as I know we were talking about the Google searches and everything, with your customer experience being a good one, you're more privy to have a better review left on these Google searches and everything like that. So I know as me as a consumer, when I'm looking for something, I'm reading the reviews, looking at what's going on, what people are saying. So that just helps. With the carts, it's kind of an off mindset thing that people don't really think of, but once you put them in, the feedback on it that you get from people, it's crazy. Oh, just for like a 4-wheel cart. But people love it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you don't have it, they're like, wait, what happened to the carts? So it's I always say we're like the dinosaurs or whatever. It's just a 4-wheel push cart, but it does make a difference. And then just trying to keep up with the market, or like in your territory, if there's someone down the street open up brand new. I know people just like to clean or just paint, make it look nice, but you really got to maintain that property. Our products, a lot of people think, are just for climate control indoor facilities, but they're for both indoor, outdoor. Our sweepers are used all the time outdoors just to keep the lanes clean, sweep out the units after they've been done. I saw the comments, some people bought a couple to help with the leaf management. So that's a big thing. And then obviously on the inside, the scrubbers, keeping the aisleways clear and everything like that. It's a big difference.
I completely agree. We had them, we used them. I always will use them. At our new properties, I think it's the little details that make the difference. So, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of people are making their decisions online, but anybody who's coming to the facility, if you're not making the best impression, putting your best foot forward, you're making a mistake. So,
I agree.
And images of those, you can even have those online. The images of it, because that's people's personal stuff. That's their prized possessions. So to have in a clean facility makes all the difference in the world.
So here's probably one of the greatest questions I've ever heard. What a genius this guy must be. As owners develop the 2024 spending plans, perhaps with very limited budgets, what are the 1 or 2 highest ROI technology solutions that the owners should consider budgeting?
I'll take the first stab at this and some creative liberty with my answer. I think 2024, you've got to have revenue management in place, whether it's just as simple as a competitor scraping that can feed you that information on a daily basis, or it's as sophisticated as value-based pricing, where you've got the tiered rates on your website and in the office, managing your current customers as well as your future customers, or those new street rates. That's going to be imperative as we move into 2024, having some technology in place to make that more efficient and effective. Mm-hmm. That to me is a top tier usage. And
go ahead.
Oh, no, James, go ahead.
That's one of the questions I always get asked pretty frequently too, is, how do you show ROI on that type of investment? And I think kind of what Ian had said earlier too, is that by keeping in tune with your rates and staying current, rather than being the lowest price, or maybe priced so high that you're missing opportunities. I mean, it can, if you monitor it, we have like automated ways to send you automated notifications to any changes. I mean, you don't have to live on this platform, but you can save, for example, especially when you're talking about the cleanliness, you can automate the comp report. So if you have your managers or somebody manually collecting that, you can literally get that in about 30 seconds, and you can also automate it to come to you once a week. So you don't even have to go in there and do anything. But then if you do, you can go in and obviously see what's going on. So, but yeah, it's a huge, it's going to be a huge revenue driver.
I mean, that's an efficiency right there. If you're freeing up your manager's time, they don't have to scrape it. Now, to Ian's point earlier, they can answer the phone on that first ring or call that lead list back.
Well, there's a couple things to that too, Greg. I think you probably agree with this too. So there's the managers will start giving you some of the data, and obviously there's different quality levels of managers. Some of the managers will get you the correct data, but we were finding very few times where we're getting accurate data, and it became dated. So to me, the best thing about Stortrack, and I will tell you the most important thing that we did. So we were managed by CubeSmart for a period of time. And there was a period of 2 years where their overall increase NOI was only up 3% year over year. And we were up 13 and 14%. And that was because we were able to monitor, we were able to get involved with the revenue management. And so revenue management obviously is two things: it's street rates, but even more important is existing rates. And so if you can see, it's all about a combination of where the occupancy is. It's all about where the demand is. And so, and by the way, we made other decisions too, where we would reconfigure a lot of units. So if all the 5x10s were leased, when we would take some 10x10s and convert them to 5x10s or vice versa. So obviously easier to take the smaller ones and make them bigger because you take the wall out between them. But those attention to detail is incredibly important. And I was, even as the owner and even having 100 facilities, we would meet with our VP of operations, our district manager, and our CFO, and me. And we go through and they would starting with the managers, and make proposals on what rates should be, not only street rates, but what you should raise for your existing tenants. And so it's, for example, we had a property in Rhode Island when we bought it. The 10x30s were going for $150 a month, and there was no 10x30s in the market. And we had some of the only ones there. And so we ended up, day one, I increased the rates to $300. And because it was still a little below market, some of the other places, and our managers freaked out. They're like, well, we're going to lose people. I said, great. They could sit vacant for 6 months. We rent it. They're going to rent. They're needed. They're completely full right now. And almost everybody paid the increase, right? So, that was tremendous increase of revenue on one unit type. And so paying that kind of attention is huge.
One of the interesting things too that I've showed people on there. So when you look, and we do what Ian said, is we do track availability. We don't track physical occupancy, but we track the number of operators who are offering a particular unit size. And the cool thing is we also have a map. So you can go from that to the map, and all of a sudden you'll see maybe you are on a main thoroughfare and everybody else is buried off in the weeds somewhere. Maybe not even, they're showing up in your radius, but they're not really truly that, your tier one competitor. So that can give you an opportunity to raise rates as well.
Well, also they provide Stortrack provides notifications if one of your chief competitors is increasing or decreasing rates significantly. You get an email, and that allows you to make a decision more proactively rather than just finding out 6 months later, oh my God, that's why we're getting crushed. We're not getting any 10x10s because my two competitors down the street are charging way less than we are. So,
and from a marketing perspective, I think ROI, having a progressive website that's working for you 24 hours a day, whether you're staffed right then or not, it allows people to complete the transactions, allows people to rent anytime when they're ready. But also, I think another thing to touch on is pay-per-click. So you only pay for people who click on your ad, go to your website. As you're getting your organic rankings, which you don't pay for people to click on, as you're getting those to where they need to be, top of market, top 10, first page, all that, then you can use pay-per-click to get you where you are for right now until you're able to, have 100%, really increase your occupancy to where you need it. So those are some things from a marketing perspective that came to my mind.
No, that's a great comment too. And I think most important, the hardest thing that we tried to do and do as much with our software and automate as much as possible, some required some manager input, is really understanding where people are finding us, right? So, and then, there's certain, like square foot, there's certain locations you must use them, right? If you don't, you're going to lose occupancy. And there's places where you're 95% occupied. Do you really want to be spending money with third-party services when you're already getting the tenant? So be very particular. Like we would turn off certain locations, spend a lot more on others where we needed it. Just really paying attention to the details. But that kind of dovetails a little bit into Jeanne, with the talk a little bit about you mentioned earlier about how people are really using their phones more. So just talk a little bit about to make sure people understand about a user-friendly page for your phone and optimization. Talk a little bit about why that's so important.
It is so important because, literally that's how a large percentage of people find local businesses, especially. I know there's a little bit of a difference between self-storage and boat and RV storage. Self-storage is very much about the radius around your facility, and that's where things, people searching for you and local search becomes very important, being able to find you. As a difference with boat and RV storage, a lot of times the storage facility will be around the place that they take their boat or their RV. So that's a little bit different. That can be farther away. People are more willing to travel. So those can be different, and that's where PPC can help you with boat and RV storage, because it is, it could be farther away. There's a farther radius that you would want to target near some of those, some of those boating and outdoor activity things. As far as mobile, this is what people use. People are on their phones, they're out and about. They're on the weekends running errands, all those things. You need to make sure that you have a quick load time. That's important for Google. You need to make sure that your local listings are all up to date. There's nothing that upsets people more, and I'm sure you guys have heard this feedback, is if, let's say, your Google profile doesn't have the correct hours and they go and they think they're going to see somebody at the facility and they're not there. All those things need to be updated. And people look mostly on their phones. When we look at the analytics and we see, phone versus PC, it's just amazing how much more people are looking on their mobile devices. So it has to be user-friendly. It has to have the same functionality, like I said, and you need to make sure your local search, that you are claiming your Google profile, that your local listings have your correct hours, your correct address. All of that all goes hand in hand and helps when people are looking for local businesses. And since that is so important in this climate, mobile becomes much more important, and your website becomes, just as important as your brick and mortar facility. So.
Yeah, and everybody really needs to check that, because, again, that's something that we see as we pick up different locations. I can't tell you how many times that people either have the wrong address on Google Maps or don't have it at all. And in this day and age, I don't even know how you do that, but they do.
Yeah.
Now, what Jeannie is saying is on the mobile, like the mobile user, and those users are outpacing desktop users, there's more off website interactions happening. And so your website has to be like responsive and mobily designed and able to indicate features and coupons and highlight people to use your online rental function. But if people are using their mobile, there's more opportunities for them to interact with you off of your website. So those listings that Jeannie is talking about, we focus on the top 4. Google, yeah, that's one of those big ones. And Google's provided more places for you to fill out information. So things like adding your products, adding the sizes that you offer, adding some additional call to actions. There's even a chat function now, so you can enable chat. And so people are now talking to you off of your website and out of your website. That's really important for operators.
They can ask questions. They can leave reviews, all of that. Yes.
Yeah. But Google, Apple Maps, because that's the default map usage of all iPhone users. Apple, Bing, and Yelp are also, don't sleep on those two, because they both play a part in the voice searches. So if you're using Siri to ask questions to, or Alexa to ask questions, that information is pulling from both Bing and Yelp. So as operators, again, moving into 2024, make sure that all of those features and all of those things that you're highlighting on your website are also highlighted on at least those 4 listings.
Yes.
Great. No, that's really great. So what about, I would also add, we haven't touched on this either, but I mean, technology is obviously really coming into play, and people are using unmanned sites, and that's what we're starting to employ at our locations that we purchase and are going to purchase more. But call center, I think, is becoming just increasingly critical. Worst case, if you have someone show up at your site and they can't get in, and there's at least a phone number they can call, and they can talk to someone who can actually get them everything they need. You're having a good call center is beyond critical, in my opinion. So you're always being able to reach somebody. What about security? The recent SSA demand study showed that a list of the top 10 items tenants are willing to pay more for, and security is definitely on that list. What can an owner do to make the security systems more sound? I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that.
I'll start with some of the security measures that we've. There's some newer technology with security, and so if you're really having trouble with rentals or even trouble with your move outs, if you're not tracking why people are leaving you might be missing an opportunity to decrease your move outs. But if they're leaving for security purposes, then I would just look at, some of the basic things is lighting. So how are your lights? How do they present themselves at night? Drive through your facility at night and see if everything is working properly. That's kind of the basic security items. And then it goes as neat as these like sensors inside the units. That's a huge value add and a possible new revenue stream for 24. Products like the Storage Defender or even No Key allow individuals to sense movement inside their facility. That's a major kind of security value add to your property. And then there's products that can offer video monitoring. And so we have some properties that had some significant burglary issues, and we stuck some of those overnight monitoring systems where if they detect movement, it's a one-way monitor. Hey, you in the checkered shirt and the glasses, it's after hours, get off of the facility. And it's one way. So Ian can't talk back to my security system and explain why he's there. He's got to leave. Otherwise the police are indicated and show up. That's been significantly helpful at our properties, but it all comes down to signage too. So if you implement some of these new features at your facility, you've got to highlight it on your website so it helps with conversions.
That's what I was going to say. You have to let people know. A lot of people have security and they don't highlight it. Like, make sure it's up front on your website, your social media posts, all of that helps people to feel secure. Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're working with the boat and RV industry right now. Speaking a little bit to what Jeanne was saying too, that's obviously an up and coming industry. And security. So when we go to define a Class A facility, one of the things that we're looking at is obviously cameras. We're looking at fencing. Again, is it a chain link fence or is it a nice solid fence? What's the gate system? Are they going to be just driving into the property? Is it a gravel lot? So all of those things were kind of, and it's important, and that's the reason is that literally security is one of the top concerns, obviously, for RVers. Parking their $500,000 rig somewhere. They want to make sure it's secure.
I've even seen security cameras that as soon as the video kind of like senses movement, a recording shows up that says this location is monitored. That simple addition to your probably pre-existing software helps, especially in you're referencing remote managed facilities, cannot feel like unmanaged facilities, because then as a user, I'm less secure because at your managed facility down the street, somebody's there every day. So that's a sense of security. And so if you can add some kind of automation to your existing security cameras that just repeat themselves. And it's annoying because I store at a facility that has that. So every time I turn a corner, I hear that same message, but it gives me such a peace of mind. And so that's a great product to add to your systems.
No question. So generally speaking, with decline in occupancy and owners kind of getting back to some basics in 2024, which is actually largely what the SBOA was founded on, make it back in 2008. And people started making so much money that they didn't care so much about saving money. But now it's kind of come around full circle. So, improving customer service is critical. What can owner do to ensure its staff is knowledgeable, friendly, responsive, and how can owners improve their current training programs? And I guess, Chris, I think your first comment would be, well, make it look great when they come up, right? I mean, are your sweepers relatively easy to move around from location to location, or is it something that's
Yeah, so that's what I was going to touch. Yeah, so if you have like the hub and spoke model or anything like that, we obviously have different models of our. We mainly sell the walk behind models to the self storage industry, but we get into the big ride-ons for like the RV and boat storage as well, where it looks like a Zamboni out there. But yeah, the walk behind ones, they easily fold down. You can easily throw them in the back of a car or a pickup, and then use them at multiple locations around. So that's something that you could look at, and it just helps with the cost too. Then on these units to help spread that one cost amongst multiple. So that's something to think of. And then I just wanted to touch base too, also on I know you're talking about security and all that, but more, I know people are spending money on these carts and everything, so they always worry about, well, someone's going to steal the cart or stuff like that. So we got a lot of owner operators actually, they go and purchase cheap air tags now on Amazon, and they're putting those on the carts, because you'll believe it or not, people just load them up and they roll them right in the unit, shut the door, and they're done. So then you're wondering, well, where's my cart? Because the worst thing is doing the carts and then someone needs it and then they can't find one. You don't want that experience. So, so that's some. And then we also do, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Aldi and the coin lock system on the shopping carts. We actually supply that to Aldi. So we have a same system that fit our flatbeds, and you can do a coin lock, or we call it a card lock. So if it's a manned facility, they can go up there, leave a driver's license or credit card at the front desk, get the card done, lock it, and then return it upon, just so then where your carts are. We call it asset management, but just security for your owner operators, is obviously you're spending this capital on something. You don't want it just going out the door. That's
great. Well, also one of the things before we get to Jeanne and Grace, but James, I mean, I think have your managers now really knowledgeable on what the competitive rates are, because I think people are going to really start coming in and try to beat you up on rate. If your managers really know what your competitors are charging, you could kind of cut them off at the pass as far as trying to maximize the rental rate, correct?
Yeah, that's probably one of the best things too from a customer service perspective, is knowing what your competition is up to and not just trying to sell a product without knowing, what everybody else is up to. Because again, they'll question and they'll say, hey, the guy down the street, he's got his for $25. And, and I'm not saying that you get into a confrontation with the customer, but you can say, I don't think so. The current rate we're showing right now is X. And again, it can, you can show your knowledge. And again, that the fact that you care about what you're doing, I think it makes a huge difference versus walking in and talking to somebody that doesn't have that level of understanding of the market.
Grace, go ahead.
The one thing I wanted to touch on where encouraging your staff, I have worked in the self-storage industry for over 10 years, and I always tell people, especially managers, you guys are experts, until you have to use storage, you don't know anything about it. You don't know how best to store appliances, photos, books, all these things are very important. You've spent your whole life trying to earn and get. So I always tell the managers, you are experts at this. Share your knowledge. You don't realize it because you know it. You think everybody knows it. They don't. So I empower them to share that knowledge and realize the wealth of information they have that could be useful for people who are first-time storage users that would have no idea. So I remind them of all of the knowledge that they do have and share it on their website, have tips. You can do it on social media, all that kind of stuff. Like really tap into their everyday knowledge of the best ways to stack a unit, all that stuff. That's all important information customers need.
Well, and I think too, also with that, understanding if there's any promotions going on in the market, understanding where maybe that's your advantage. So yeah, having all that information is super important.
Yeah. Also the features that they have as well.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was, when you asked the question, started racking my brain. As owners listening to this call, it's our job to deploy resources. So making sure that your team on staff or on site have the tools needed to be customer centric. So rates, and also, do they have the guidelines? Like, we want them to close the lead and turn them into a rental. Have you empowered them with, okay, waive the admin fee? Like, you have the approval to waive the admin fee. Here what our rates are and what our competitors' rates are. So you have the approval to go $5 less if it means we capture the rental. So making sure that they have the tools that can help convert those leads into rentals. But then also going back to the basics, professionalism and being customer focused. That I want your business attitude of standing up when you come into my door, greeting the individual who comes in, being active, walking around the facility with water bottles will help with customer retention. Those little impacts, the touch points that our team members have with our customers really makes a difference on the close, and then also that retention. We talk about marbles. If anybody knows who Brene Brown is, she talks about adding marbles to a marble jar. And so with our customers, if we're having positive interactions with them as they're on and around our facility, then when we have to send a customer a rate increase letter, and our team member knows that that rate increase letter is still X dollars or X percentage lower than maybe the competitors or a new customer, they have the tools and the relationship to mitigate that scenario and kind of keep that customer and help with retention.
Yeah.
Great. No, that's really helpful. So that kind of ties right in. How do we go about increasing customer reviews for the properties?
Ask. We can automate the process. Automate the process all day long. But when my team members actually ask in that move-in process, we see like 4 times as many reviews that actually happen. So it is training. Like, how are you training your team to ask for those reviews?
Yes.
Right. So when someone comes in screaming about the bad service, say, please leave a review.
Oh, well, I'm probably not going to ask. No, it's the move in. So whether that move in happens in the office is the best time to actually capture the review. As I grab your driver's license, making a copy, entering in this information, here's a QR code just right on my desktop. Would you mind taking a moment? This is going to take me a few minutes. Granted, it probably takes 30 seconds, but it's going to take me just a little bit of time to enter this in. Would you mind go ahead and leaving me a review? And so it's easy, it's quick, it's possible, it's available for the customer. But the highest chance of us to capture a positive review is going to be at that move in. So asking for it up front. And if the rental happens online, it's a call, here's a quick text message, there's a link in it, and making it personal is really helpful. So
during the rental process, you can add, leave us a review as one of the final things. It usually after some sort of transaction with the facility is a great time to ask for. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but people like to share their opinion. So it's actually, people are more afraid to ask than people are of leaving a review. They like doing that. So
actually, back to what Ian said about, with an angry customer, believe it or not, that is a perfect opportunity to turn that around, especially if somebody if there's something you can do to help them. In a lot of cases, sometimes it's pretty simple. Help them out. And at that point, that's a great time, or especially if you get a negative review, reach out to them and talk to the customer. Again, don't get in a confrontation, but ask them, see if there's something you can legitimately do to help them. And I can tell you from personal experience that you can turn that review around. You can turn a 1-star into a 5-star.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it makes
it's
a
an
huge
opportunity
difference.
to engage with your tenants. Look at it. I tell people, look at it like that. People expect to see 1 or 2 bad reviews. Not everybody's going to have the greatest experience, and some people look for things. It's how you respond to it, how quickly you respond to it, and how you try to come to a solution. So I always say, look at it as an opportunity to engage with your tenants. Maybe there's something in your process where you lose your customers, where they're confused. That gives you an opportunity to look, oh, is there something we need to do in between this step and this step to make it easier for them to understand. So look at it as opportunity rather than a bad thing. Don't be afraid to say, oh, thank you for that feedback. Our team is working on this. We've decided to do this to make the process easier. It's how you handle it.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'll just touch, Grace, you mentioned the QR code and everything. We've actually had clients, so like when you go to a grocery store, you see the cart returns and it says, please return cart or whatever. We've had people put that up in their facility so they know the cart spot. And then underneath, they'll have a QR code or a statement saying, please. So while it's fresh on their mind that, hey, this cart was great or something just worked well for them, now they have a way to do that review. And then as far as the cleaning, cleaning facilities are great, but also being visible. So like cleaning while people are there during it, so they're seeing that you're physically doing this. That's just an impression for them.
All right. Well, this was great, guys. I really appreciate all of your input. This is very helpful, and hopefully everyone listening learned quite a bit today. So, Jessica, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, audiences, we have the last couple. Thanks, everyone. As we have the last couple of minutes, if you have any final questions you want to toss in there, please go ahead. I'm going to remove everyone from screen for a moment. We have some advertisements to show you from some of our vendor partners that are here with us today and a couple quick announcements. So please stay tuned for the last few minutes of today's webinar.
Absolute Storage Management is a leading provider of flexible management solutions for self-storage facilities. We manage over 150 storage facilities across the United States. Since 2002, Absolute Storage Management has been assembling a team of seasoned subject matter experts. From managers to marketing specialists, our dedicated team of professionals is equipped with specialized knowledge to maximize the potential of your facility. When you partner with Absolute Storage Management, you instantly gain access to their robust span of services. These services come standard as part of your benefits of being a part of the Absolute portfolio: technology, marketing, operations, sales and revenue, training, HR and payroll, accounting, and onboarding. Absolute is one of the few AMO accredited management companies and was one of the first management companies to service SBA financing to owners using third-party management in the storage industry. Absolute understands that your bottom line matters. Our proven strategies and industry knowledge drive profit maximization. Let our track record of success speak for itself. Partner with Absolute Storage Management and experience the difference. Our expertise, reputation, comprehensive services, and proven performance make us the ideal choice for self-storage management.
In the fast-paced world of self-storage, staying ahead is the key to success. Introducing Stortrack, offering a suite of market analysis solutions for self-storage professionals. Our optimized platform empowers managers, owners, and operators to navigate the market with preciseness and confidence. With its intuitive interface, you can keep track of market activity in real time and react faster to changes that could impact your business. Make informed decisions and stay ahead of the competition. For developers and investors, Stortrack presents the Explorer platform. Explore data on over 69,000 facilities in the US and Canada. Our comprehensive market data assists in site selection and market due diligence, giving you the edge in strategic decision-making. Ready to take your self-storage business to new heights? Contact Stortrack today and unlock the power of data-driven success.
Are you a self-storage facility owner or manager looking to attract more customers and boost your business? Look no further than the Storage Group, the ultimate solution for your online marketing needs. The Storage Group is a digital marketing firm specializing in cutting-edge self-storage technology products and services. We ensure industry success and improve customer experience through website design, digital marketing services, search engine optimization, and software development for the storage industry. And the Storage Group's Click and Store is self-storage's only rental suite. This is more than a rental tool. Click and Store Online Rental Suite is an extensive platform that optimizes revenue, enhances rental security, and increases your facility's visibility. We pioneer, innovate, and create. Our experts develop proven digital marketing strategies catered to your needs. With extensive search marketing research, we drive client success through their websites. Contact us for more information at www.storageinternetmarketing.com or call 407-680-2235.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us again. This is actually our final episode of Self-Storage Unlocked for 2023. However, I am working on 2 special edition episodes to release to you all before the holiday season really sets in the next couple of weeks and we take off for Christmas and New Year. So stay tuned to our weekly newsletter and our social media channels for those announcements. If you are not getting our weekly newsletter, it comes out every single Tuesday. It's full of articles of industry information, upcoming events, job postings of job availability we know in the self-storage industry, all kinds of information. So if you are not receiving that, please go out to the SBOA website, the SBOA.com, and go to join. When you hit join and become a member, you'll start to automatically receive that weekly newsletter. And again, Storage for Rookies, the final Storage for Rookies for 2023 is next Thursday, December 14th. Please go online again under our upcoming events. Is that something that you would like to attend? And we have an entire new 2024 Storage for Rookies series coming to you. It's all new information. So if you've been part of that program before, this is a way for you to continue to advance in that program with us. We will be doing some announcements of what that new program looks like within the next couple weeks. Today at 2:00, we are doing the 12 days of the SBOA giveaways. Today, you will actually be able to win free tickets to the 2024 Storage for Rookies series. Again, it's now a 4-part series instead of a 1-part series. Well, that wouldn't be a series instead of a 1-part episode or day. So please check that out as we announce that. One final announcement for you too. The SBOA in 2024 is offering a new and enhanced paid membership program for $9.99 a month. You will gain access to more information from us, more education, better discounts from our products, and deeper discounts with some of the vendors that we utilize in the self-storage industry and have partnerships with. So that's going to be a really advantageous program for owners and operators to help them continue to learn about the industry and to save money and get heavy discounting through some of our vendor partnerships. And the membership has a lot more bells and whistles that I'm announcing here live. So as soon as we have all of those details, we will be sending those out through the newsletter and on our social media channels. Thank you all for attending today. We will see you at Storage for Rookies if you are attending next week, and keep your eyes peeled for the 2 final special episodes or editions of Self-Storage Unlocked coming to you before the end of 2023. Take care, everyone. See you soon.